It's holding you back. The way you organize your practice time, what you do every day, is holding you back. You probably are falling into one of two categories. You're doing the same thing every day, staying consistent, but you're not getting results. Or you're following that inspiration, but let's face it, there's more days you're uninspired than inspired. I'm Robert Monroe. I want to show you how to break out of both of these pitfalls and find yourself more productive practice and get to your musical goals. Now, how do we do this? Well, we're going to do a little bit of a tangent to an analogy of weightlifting and physical training, physical fitness. Why am I bringing this up? Because I think it's going to help disarm you and highlight exactly the two camps that people tend to fall in. So let's imagine there's a guy you know, Fred, and Fred is hyper disciplined. He does the same workout every single day. And it's a full body workout. He learned it from some website somewhere that he swears by, and he does it every single day exactly the same. Same weights, same reps, same moves, same everything. Now, is that good or bad? Well, again, like everything, it's mixed, because here's the deal. At the beginning, guess who's going to make a lot of progress? Fred. Because when you go from 0 to nothing, you're going to make a lot of progress doing that. But at some point, he's going to stall out. And what a lot of times happens with people like that is they just go, oh, I'm aging. I got the progress that I needed. I'm comfortable. I'm set. And it makes me so sad because that same person could vary things up a little bit. Maybe do some progressive overload. If you don't know what that is, that's just putting a little bit more weight on the bar or adding a couple more reps. It could also be that maybe they just need to change the moves they're doing, change things up. Okay, so we know about Fred. Now over here, we got Carl. Now our buddy Carl, he's a wild man. Some days he's doing CrossFit. Other days he's going out to run. Other days he's doing deadlifts. You'd never know what's going to be going on with Carl. Here's the deal. When Carl's motivated, he is crushing the progress that Fred makes. Like absolutely nonstop, just crushing it. But when Carl gets a little unmotivated, he starts liking the cake. He starts to not go to the gym as much. And overall, he also is not making very much forward progress. Now, it's really obvious to see in Fred and Carl how those ideas will not work. But what's weird to me is we go over to music and I see even reputable teachers basically pushing for one of these two things. Now, where is the middle ground? What are we really going for? To me, it is having goal-oriented practice. So, is consistency important? Yes. Is doing things that you're inspired and excited about important? Yes. But we need to marry these two things and create something a little more adaptable, a little freer while still having a plan and consistency. So let me show you how that works with myself as somebody who's been doing this for decades. And then let me demonstrate some ideas of how you could incorporate this very powerful idea for you. So for myself, I like to break it up into 3 different things that I really make sure that I handle. The first is going to be technique. What do I want to do with technique? Well, I want to maintain, which is more for me, right? If you're just starting out, you're not necessarily looking to maintain your technique. But for me, I've been playing piano for a very long time, almost 30 years. So for me, a lot of it is maintenance. And then it's also to grow it in some way. So I start out and I do scales. Why do I do scales? Because they are the most amazing, just baseline. I want something to feel steady. I want it to feel solid. And I do them at a steady tempo. I make sure that I'm relaxed and comfortable. And that's like a check-in for me. It makes me go, okay, how am I feeling today? How are things going today? And then I try to do something to push myself, something that is a little more out of bounds. Maybe I do minor sixth exercises. Maybe I do arpeggios. Maybe I do broken chord. Maybe I just come up with an exercise, something to push my technique a little bit. That gets me in to the next thing, which is sight reading and classical. I love to look at new music. Why are we looking at new music? Well, again, for two reasons. What we need to be looking at new music to get better at sight reading, the skill of sight reading, and at the same time, we need to be looking at new music to be learning new music, because that's something that is important to me. I don't want to be stuck knowing the same songs that I've known forever. I want to learn new songs. So I've already identified two things that are really important for me. I want to continue getting better at my technique, and I also want to learn new music. Then I also want to hone my ear abilities and my theory abilities. So I'm going to be addressing, for example, specific songs I've never heard before. I like to live stream sometimes, and a lot of that is just a challenge, right? I'm just grabbing random songs people ask me to play and trying to play them. Improvising is another great way to do this. Now, I break it up into those three things, and for me, you notice it's kind of a little vague. I get the luxury of that because I have been playing piano a very long time. And at this point, most of my goals are just for me. It's not really necessarily as performance oriented for a specific goal like a recital or something like that. Although when I do have a recital, that's a great framing mechanism. So for you, this is what I would say. There's going to be some really straightforward things. For example, do you know all your scales? If you don't know all your scales, boom, there's one of your goals. Do you know all your scales with 2 octaves? There you go again. Do you know them with 4 octaves? Do you know it at 100 beats per minute to the 16th note? Again, we're really, actually, I guess to the quarter while you're playing 16ths, whatever. You know what I'm saying. All of these things can develop a goal. Now, you don't need an incredibly specific goal, but you do need a directionality. It can't just be, I want to get better at music. It's more like, you know what? I want to get better at writing music like Michael Jackson. Okay, what does that mean? Well, we can look into Michael Jackson type songs. We can start to come up with a list. You can even use AI if you're getting really lazy about thinking about it, or just ask somebody who's been in music for a while. And we can definitely give you some ideas about what that actually looks like. Once you have your goal, you should frame your practice session around that goal. Now you get the best of both worlds. You both have practicing that is goal-oriented, that's going where you're inspired, but at the same time, you're also getting that consistency that's necessary, because you just need to make a little progress, the tiniest little progress towards your goal. And that is always possible. I'm curious, do you identify in one of these categories? Are you a Fred? Do you have everything planned out to the T, but it's the same thing every single day? Or are you a Carl, and you're just kind of like, I'm over here one day, I'm over here the other day. It's just all over the place. Or have you already realized this amazing middle ground of picking a goal and working towards it, even if that means every day it's a little bit different? If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe. It really does help. I'd love to drop some more nuggets. Comment anything that you were confused by. Maybe we'll also get into some other analogies from the weightlifting world, like progressive overload. What does that mean for music? Because I think it all is super adaptable and makes a ton of sense with it. Anyway, until next time, peace out. Have a great day. Get to practicing.